People, this is one of the most relevant sessions, among one of the most relevant sessions of RITE 2023. You know why? Because all of these gentlemen and ladies, distinguished people here, were once upon a time students like you. And today here they are. And that is truly aspirational for all of you. Now, why should we care about alumni? Because, as Narayan Murthy sir puts it, alumni are the people who feel the most about their alma mater. Because at one level, they are products of their institution and brand ambassadors as well. In a way, they owe whatever they have become to their mother institutions. And in return, the mother institution takes pride in what they have become today. We don't define success by the money they have made or the designations they have earned, but the journeys they have gone through and have been true achievers in the truest sense. From a RITE point of view, a pure startup point of view, or business point of view, I was reading this report by the Iowa State University in July 23. Hello. This is an interesting statistic. It says 1/3 of startup deals that this study looked at involved a founder and investor from the same university. And this is a recent report. So another, and the reason being, the conversations between students, investors and deal makers and startups from the same university were the most frictionless. So it does matter, right? Another article I would like to quote, it's from India-based, the best institutions in India from where startups are emerging. And where startups have involved the current students, the entrepreneurs have involved the current students, and current students have engaged with the startup owners from the same universities. It has resulted in quality funding, quality mentorship, quality resources, and quality recruitment. So they are the base of all business, isn't it? So let's start without much ado. I'd like to start with Mr. Jayavardhan Vij. Jay, if I can call you that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He is the co-founder of Angle, which is he's a design industry professional and a true poster boy for RITE 2023. Why? Many reasons. One, he just graduated in 2023. Two, he's a pure pandemic, child, because he started his 1920 and graduated this year. But instead of allowing circumstances to dictate what was happening, he took matter in his own hands, started his businesses. So he has 2 startups. He's serving more than 30 clients. Some of the best ones, I'd like to mention them when I come to you. Both his parents are alumni. Mother, father are MITians. So he's a... So, can we have a round of applause for Jayavardhan, please? And by the time he has graduated, he's running full-fledged businesses with 12 employees working under him. So over to you. I have a question for you. At a time when most of them, and in pandemic, we were busy worrying or watching, mindless YouTube videos often. What prompted you to, start your own business when at a time when you should have either be studying or looking at future opportunities or, wondering what to do next or maybe following your favorite football team? Why this? And secondly, what are the challenges for a 19 or a second-year-old college student when they pitch to people and say, look, trust in me, I know my stuff, and now you should trust me and give me your work. So how did you, A, convince yourself and your potential client? I'd like you to start by mentioning your course, batch, and some of the clients that you are, working with right now.
Well, thank you so much for the lovely introduction, Neeraj. My name is Jayavardhan, and I've passed out this year, like you mentioned. I'm from School of Design, MIT, from the product design stream. And some of the clients that I work with are some of the biggest names in their industries, like Hindustan Petroleum, Static India, one of the biggest EV charging networks in India, and multiple more clients like that. To answer your first question, I did that myself. During the pandemic, when the pandemic had hit, we all had that time where we were, sitting, we were looking at YouTube, we were doing time pass and all. We used to find it difficult to get up in the morning to attend the first lecture of the day. But somewhere you want to, you want to do something. You cannot, keep going like that. So I had this urge in me, I had this restlessness in me that I was not satisfied with the way things are going. So I'll make a change for myself. I did not want to wait for someone else to give me an opportunity. I'll create an opportunity for myself. So that's when I realized I will start something based on my skills. I was wonderful at carpentry, I was wonderful at blacksmithing. I got to know, studying at MIT, I got to learn a lot of graphics design, multiple other forms of design. And I felt that with my then partner, I'll start a design firm to make use of my skills and to learn. So that's how my journey was, taking it one step at a time, not being afraid of failure, making mistakes, learning from them, and keep going.
But how did you find the courage to go to people and say, look, here I am without any degree, without any proven clientele to start with, but trust me and give me your work?
Many of us in the start, especially in my position, will find it difficult because apparently on paper we have nothing to back ourselves off. But we do have our work, our portfolios. And when you show
I would like the audience to pay attention to this point that he's making, where he says he's a second-year-old going out and pitching out to the world at large. And please go ahead.
So it was our work. The first client we approached, it took us a long time to wait, but we had to stay and wait. The moment we did end up getting in the conversation, the first time we managed to convince them was, see, this is our work. I'm sure you might think that we might not have as much industry experience as multiple of our clients, but I know with dedication, if you give us the chance, we can pull it off. And after looking at our work, after giving us that first chance, and after us being patient to get that first chance, we pulled it off. And through word and mouth, slowly, our client base grew. And that's how we got where we are.
Thank you so much. Prasanna, I'll come to you next, your batch of 21. And again, just as he's a true blue product of MIT as far as business is concerned and family is concerned, Prasanna is a co-founder of a company called Contrans Hyperloop. And all 4 founders are MITians. And you can take us through that later. But the question is, surely something must have gone right during your MIT years, where all 4 of you believed that this is the place where you have enough skill sets, the mindset, the attitude to start your own business and take it further. So what happened at the university in terms of education, exposure, and experiences that helped you become what you are today?
Yeah, so first of all, to be honest, the very first things that MIT inculcates in you, transitioning from a school child coming to college, is waking up at 8 a.m. So I remember we used to have our lectures at the morning at 8 a.m. and we used to come down here, we used to sit for the lectures, half sleepy, half awakened. But that instilled discipline in me. That instilled dedication towards, completing an objective for the day. So back in 2018, I was just, I just completed my first year and we were just a group of friends who, used to sit around, discuss ideas, just brainstorm in general in something what exactly do we need to, do in terms of projects or, do in terms of, approaching professors for, inculcating research ideas, be a part of their research that is ongoing with them. In that moment, we realized that, so in 2018, there was a competition that was held at SpaceX. It goes by the name of SpaceX Hyperloop Pod Competition. It was just the second edition that was about to come out that year, and we thought that, this is something interesting, this is something new, nobody has heard of it. We should definitely try a hand at it. And I remember we approached our dean at that time, Dr. Prasad Khandekar sir, and it's very shocking to the fact that when you approach someone so high in the institute, high in the order in terms of hierarchy, and immediately he says, yes, you got to do this. We'll make a team, you put up a proposal, and we'll see how it goes ahead. From that day till the day we got funding. We got funding actually from IBM itself. So IBM Research funded one of our entire projects for the entire 4 years itself. And he was there in the meeting. He even went us through how you need to prepare the pitch right from the start till the end, sitting nights with us itself. So we used to visit at 10 or 11 p.m. in the night itself, to discuss ideas with him. And he was there, he was always there. So that is one of the second things that MIT provides you. It's that leadership. That's leadership connect with the students, that ease of approach to professors, to deans, to all kinds of, people in the hierarchy. So then and there, the journey started. We did around 3.5 years of research into the institute. We built a track around here. It's not even that single service or single, faculty or laboratory that we haven't utilized in the institute. We've been to each and every laboratory. We've taught to each and every technician at the college itself. So it was that kind of an engagement. And that is very important, because it's early years. You are, now, you are rightly now exposed to industries. You're working with industries now. And that is something that, made us what we are to, it's still not very big. We are still just starting up, but yeah, that really helps a lot.
Thank you so much. Making best of the opportunities on campus. The next is Shitwan, I'll come to you. You're a program manager at Impact Orbit, which is IIM Bangalore's Incubation Center for Startups, NSRCEL. Your profile on LinkedIn says you are working at the intersection of technology and impact. So while everyone here is busy thinking of technologies and ways of making money or investing money or, getting their startups in shape, we at MIT are driven ever since its inception on social consciousness. So whether it is the SLDP program that we have or rural immersion program, how does a teenager going into his early 20s become a socially conscious person before he becomes a social impact entrepreneur or professional?
Thank you so much, Neeraj. Firstly, I would just like to say that it's an honor to be here, to be talking to students at a place where I went to study, right? It was just an amazing experience. Thank you for having me. So most of my time at MIT was spent in the Youth Mission Studio that is there in front of what used to be the College of Engineering. I literally spent half of my time there. I think that really inculcated the seed of social work or just being socially conscious in me. As a student, I did not think of it much at that point of time, but now when I reflect on it, what started was, they say that very cliche term that charity begins at home. It really is a cliche for a reason. As a student, how do you behave on a day-to-day basis? How are you leading your life on a day-to-day basis? Are you there when a fellow student or your peer is going through something or need help? It could be anything, right? Dropping a ride, giving them a ride back home, holding a table for them, just maybe nudging them awake in the class when they're sleeping, right? I mean, besides this, generally, how conscious are you? Do you reach out to people for help? Do you offer any help? One, that, right? Second is, because there is so much time in college, like, we are not kidding everybody, nobody spends hours and hours in the classrooms, right? How to best utilize your time? Go out there, see the world, explore, volunteer. Through Youth Mission, I got a chance to volunteer at a lot of organizations. I remember one of them was called Manavya. It supported children from marginalized section. It's a home for children. We used to go there on weekends, and we had an amazing time. We played with those kids, and we learned from them. It was an amazing experience. And third thing is experiment. Just go out there. Say yes to things, Instead of saying no and think, why should I do something? Think, why not? As long as it's not hurting you, harming your safety, you should absolutely try a lot of things in college, because the kind of exposure, time, and space that you have here, you're not going to get anywhere else. So I would encourage everybody to just say yes to a lot of things, try out as many things as possible. During engineering, I never thought that I would be in the social impact space. And here I am, and I would like to believe that the seed was inculcated here. So thank you so much for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Ishita, I'll come to you next. You're the project manager at Texol Engineering, which is, I believe, your father's farm. But you're a second generation entrepreneur. Now, a lot of students out here must be wondering, why should I care about RIDE? जब time आएगा देख लेंगे. How important is RIDE for a youngster when he or she enters the professional world, whether as an entrepreneur or as a working professional?
I think basically when you are in college, I don't think in the first year or second year you'd really realize the importance of RIDE or like innovation or research in general anyway. But me, fortunately, I was in the petrochemical department where we really did have a lot of opportunities to carry out research. I believe Neeraj Topre sir, Gaikwad sir, all of them were involved in quite a lot of research, and they tried to involve quite a few people in the research then as well. And so that really gave me the exposure to researching. And so now at Texol Engineering, we also have another branch of it, which is called Texol Innovations. And there we do carry out like research projects for certain scientists. We've hired some consultants. We have consultants from IOCL and many other companies. They do help us out. And I have recently been involved in the research for CNT, carbon nanotubes. So we've been researching with that, how we can produce that, what are the different kind of catalysts we can produce to get a better yield for it. And so really being here, having done research with them, or even being exposed to that mindset of getting into that, it really helped me to take this charge in Texol Innovation to do this research. And so I had all the responsibility for it, to coordinate with the client, setting up the experiments and all of that. So I think definitely if you are interested, your teachers are definitely there to support you, and you can do like whatever you put your head to. And definitely the exposure that you get here is really very helpful to inculcate this right mindset in yourself.
Thank you so much. Sheetal, you have been an entrepreneur for 23 years now. Everyone defines success differently, but most popularly people look at financial success as a metric. But you have seen highs, you have seen lows, being an entrepreneur for so long. How have you over the years started defining success and failure? The reason I ask this, a lot of them are youngsters, including people like him and him. And there will be times when the going gets tough. So how do you back yourself, and what is that you look at and see, look, this is still success? Or maybe not get carried away and say, look, this is a red alert and maybe a failure.
Thanks, Neeraj. See, I started my business. Once I passed out from 2000. I passed out in 2000 year from BE Polymers. I immediately started my business after that. I faced a lot of challenges that time. In fact, I remember my sister and many of my elders and other people used to say, why don't you go and have some experience in some industry instead of starting a business immediately? So that time I was like energetic. I said, no, I have to do business. I started the business. I worked a lot. I worked hard. But over the period of time, I realized that no, I faced a lot of failures. I faced rejections. When I analyzed those failures, I realized that I should have had some experience of industry, working with people, interacting with them, and getting to know a lot of different aspects other than education and only the product. See, making money is very easy. I think it is very easy. But maintaining that, building that, it's very tough. When you face rejections, when you face success, because you face it because you don't have knowledge of anything. I faced losses because I didn't have knowledge of taxes, some government policies. I faced huge losses, means in fact in lakhs and lakhs of rupees. So these are certain things which you need to take care of. So in success, I won't say that I failed there, but it was a kind of learning. Any failure or any setbacks, instead of failures, I'll call it as a setback. Accept those setbacks, build upon it, rethink, redevelop your thinking, with confidence, go ahead and again build up your new venture and again start working hard.
Thank you so much. Dr. Samir, you are a part of the Pune Alumni chapter. And we have been talking about alumni and how alumni can, help nurture the community of students, alumni to students, alumni to alma mater, and alumni for society. What, according to you, is the relevance of having a vibrant alumni network, and how do you think alumni can contribute in students' journeys?
Sure. First of all, thanks a lot for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this wonderful forum. Before I answer your question, maybe I'm going to take help of one very popular book which is called as Think and Grow Rich. I'm sure you might have read about it. If not, you definitely read that book. It would be one of the best books that you might ever read. Now, there are a lot of principles that the author Napoleon Hill has described there, and he has interviewed more than 5,000 very successful entrepreneurs in Americas, right from Henry Ford to Rockefeller, Siemens, Stone, etc. So out of that, I'm going to take out two principles which I thought or think are very relevant to RIDE, and we can use it in alumni-student interaction. The first principle is about an idea. Any big thing that you want to build in, he thinks that is based on an idea, and that can really make a whole lot of change. Now, the second question is that how do we build such groundbreaking ideas, and how can the alumni and students work together? So this is where we can leverage our rich tradition of that we have got alumni who have passed for last 30 plus years, if we have got a kind of, he describes something called as a mastermind alliance. So a mastermind alliance is a group of people who have got a combined goal, who have got the same strategy. Now we have got people who are maybe 1 year experience to 30 year experience, rich diversity, as well as we have got students who are totally new. Now, an out-of-box idea that's going to come from a student who's totally new can never match an idea that's going to come by a 25 years old person, experienced person, and vice versa. So the ideas are going to be different. But if we can somehow find a mastermind alliance where we bring all these things together and build something called as think tank or ideation thing, where we can meet maybe once in a month, once in 2 months, once in 3 months, as the thing might be. It could be a combination of face-to-face or virtual as well. And then we can try to bring up some of great ideas which can help the students and alumni both. And I think so all that it needs to make it big is just one good idea. We don't require many ideas. So I'm sure that if we can do something like that, we can build some of the great ideas. And we can look forward to our leader, who is Dr. Karad sir. By his out-of-box thinking, 35 years ago, he has built such a big institute, which are part of that. And when I was lighting this lamp, I remember one story I'll just share with it, that his vision stands not just building big ideas, but even small ideas. When I was putting that lamp there, I could see a small cube of camphor full there. And I remember that long back, maybe 15 years ago, there was such a different ceremony, and the lamp was not getting lightened. And Karad sir told you need to put a small camphor there. That will make a whole lot of difference. And this legacy is still there. I'm really happy that even a small idea can make a lot of change. So yeah.
That's amazing. Any one of you can take this question. There are a lot of inhibitions when students would want to reach out to alumni. And it's probably business also, where how do you approach a client? So from a student hearing this, if he or she wants to approach an alumnus or alumna, how can they go about it? Chitwan, can you take this question?
Hello. Yeah. So I've been in stakeholder management roles for a very long time. One thing that I learned was, unless you are clear in your ask, like you cannot just approach somebody, hey, hi, what's up, how are you doing? After a point, people will not respond to that, right? But if you're respectful, introduce yourself well, and be clear in your ask. And the ask obviously cannot be that, okay, give me so much money, but ask for guidance. Even in that, be clear. People are more likely to help you. So this is something to be kept in mind. And in the startup ecosystem, we have a joke. If you ask for money, people will give you advice. If you ask for advice, people will give you money. So yeah, just something to think about.
Amazing. Please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, again, I like to add, see, MIT has got, I guess, somewhere around 60, 70,000 pass outs. So you can approach their associations. Like we have got, you said, alma mater. There's an alumni association. Now we are into Pune chapter. Similarly, there are various cities across world where there are associations, MIT association, alumni associations, chapters. You can approach them. You can approach them with concrete plans or any ideas. Maybe not concrete plans, just basic ideas. Definitely associations would discuss among them, so maybe they can put forth to some people. At least they can introduce them to some people who can guide them. That is what usually the alumni can do.
Thank you so much. Because we have paucity of time and I don't want you guys to leave before sharing this, as MITians who have studied here and talking to them, any 2 or 3 skills or / activities that each one of you believes that these students should learn or know or engage in right now, because they are in second year. The MBA students might graduate from 1 year, but the engineering still have 2 years and the bachelors have 3 years. So what is it that they ought to be either know or be doing right now to strengthen, make their CVs more muscular?
Yeah, so one of the foremost things, that really helped us be, move forward with this kind of a journey was research, which is one of the pillars of the entire event. So each one of you who is sitting over here, it's not easy to gather ideas around. There are, tons of ideas out there. There are tons of things to do out there. But a very converging, a very defined step in order to, translate an idea into an outcome is the method of research. If you are trying to work, on a research idea, try to work with some professor. Try to approach your, faculties. They might be, involved in that kind of a stream, or they might be, writing journal papers or writing thesis papers on that. So once you inculcate that habit of, deriving yourself or, indulging yourself into research, that automatically translates your, ability to convert ideas into outcome. And one of the important things that research does for you is brings perseverance in you. Research requires a lot of time put into thoughts, lot of time, brainstorming into different things. Even writing a paper is one of the most difficult tasks till this day. Even that means if you look into a general research community, you can write an entire 10 papers of research and you do not give any information in that. But at the same time, you can write one single page of paper and you can give tons of information in that. So that's the kind of skill that people are looking for. And even in industries, once you go out, once you pass out, people highly recommend people who are into research, because it's their ability to do things in a very short amount of time and bring the outcome.
Right. Thank you. Sheetal, just one, because we are running out of time. So maybe one skill and we'll have 6 skills. But yeah, please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah. For skill, I'll suggest you should have a very good communication skills and be disciplined. Communication, because it becomes very easy to interact with your customers, with various people involved in your entrepreneurship journey, or not even entrepreneurship journey, even along when you get into job. Communication, very clear communication has to be there. It is very successful. It will become successful in that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Please.
So as a project manager, of course, I was when I was at MIT, I was involved in the organizing of the departmental events or the cultural event that happened for the college, Arohan or Petrovision or something. So I feel like that's a really, really good opportunity for somebody who really wants to get into sort of like, not really management, but something like that. You have all the exposure to coordinating with your team, the faculty, and the guests that you would be inviting. And that's just so many things that you get to know, do in that way. And that's a really good skill to have when you're out there professionally. It really helps when you trying to get a job, or in general, that's a very good life skill to have.
Thank you so much. Chitwan, please.
Um, I would say resilience. It doesn't matter how fast you go, but it does matter how far you go. And if you are able to build that muscle of resilience, to be able to get up after each failure, to come back after each failure, I think you're like gold. You're solid after that. Nothing can touch you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Jayavardhan.
Well, one thing that I really wanted to mention about being, actionable was how MIT really encouraged us to, start and take action on our own. One thing that my professors really encouraged in us was, going out and sourcing our own raw materials ourselves as design students. We did not have to wait. We got the encouragement to go do it ourselves, and in the process, we learned a lot, interacting with others and everything. So at the end of it, I think I'll just summarize, do not wait, start on your own, and you'll be fine.
Thank you. Parting thoughts, Samir.
Yeah, thanks. So just one sentence I would say that in the first 4-5 years of your career, invest your time, efforts, and energy in building a pipeline. There's a book called The Parable of Pipeline. Read that book and just invest your 5 years in building something which you can reap for the rest of the life. Thank you.